Feel it. Life is good when I lean and start up right. Doing the work out of sight. Let's go, it's Mojo. Life is best on Mojo Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I know. Set the tone in a
Hey, old man, it is Mojo Monday, sir. How are you?
I'm incredibly good. I'm coming off a cold, but that's not stopping me, man. Nothing can stop me now. Sounds
It's
like a
called
good song title.
everybody gets knocked down. The question is, do you get back up?
Oh, I never got knocked down. I
All
just
right.
pretend I'm faking it till I'm making it.
Take it till you make it, baby. All right, so here's the deal. Our topic today, will AI replace me? So we
Ooh,
want to do a series around AI, and we've got quite a few fun, interesting perspectives. But today we're going to keep it a little mountaintop view, right? Like, will AI replace me? However, did you know?
did you know when and where the first AI tool was introduced? When and where?
When and where the first AI
AI tool
tool
was
was introduced?
introduced.
Okay. Fascinating. I'll wait. I
You
love that. You
should.
don't always tell me
It's worth,
the answer.
no, it's worth
um,
waiting for.
all right, so let's set this up. So there's these things called industrial revolutions, Rick. And the company or the country, I should say, has gone through massive change over time. So obviously, the first industrial revolution was mechanical, right? Like it was, how do we take water and turn it into power? How do we take steam and turn it into power? How do we create those mechanical changes that made our lives more effective, right? Where we were able to generate things. That happened in 1784.
Mm,
Can you
that was a long
imagine?
time
The
ago.
power was created, what's that, 300 and something years ago?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
that's
long time ago.
fascinating. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. So then the second revolution happened 30 years after that. And after the mechanical revolution, the second industrial revolution happened, which I would just call it the assembly line, right? Like it was about how do we were in an economy of, or a culture of everybody was hand making things. And then all of a sudden we went into a production period where things were starting to be mass produced in an assembly line. And that took us really for a number of years as a world climate, right? Like 150 years after the second industrial revolution, before the third industrial revolution happened, which was the information age, right? Which was computers, automation. It was all about when they started to craft the computers in 1969. And that probably was just such a game changer at the time, right? Well, fast forward, Rick, we're in this fourth industrial revolution, which you could say it started about 10 years ago. It's debatable. Apparently, your did you know is going to tell us something even further back than that. But the fourth industrial revolution is really about cyber physical systems. It's about
Mm.
information age. And what do you think about when we talk about this? We're setting this up, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back a little bit. You were right to stop me, and then I didn't jump in and share a couple of thoughts. When we went through the first transportation era revolution and the first, like, just think about this. There were people that had to hop on a horse, feed and water that horse, and drag a wagon from, New York or Boston across the Rocky Mountains to hopefully get to California. And so there are things that have evolved that create a connection between distant places that had unrivaled not just benefit but capacity to transfer and transport.
Yeah.
And so, like the train, I mean, that changed everything. I'm going to assume the likelihood of surviving a train ride from New York to LA, it wasn't LA then, of course. It's got to be 1,000x over taking your family in a covered wagon, hoping to survive the elements and, the threats. And the other thing I researched if with moving mass transportation by ship, the advent of canal and the canal systems was an absolute game changer, and in some eyes probably as big a game changer as AI is today, and where we're going and what we're talking about, and the effect of technology and the ability to magnify or speed up our evolution and revolution, if you will. There was a time, though, where it would take 10 months to sail from the southern part of California around Cape Horn, or the southern point of South America, to come in back up into the Gulf. And that was the only way to get there by ship. And, in 1914, they opened the Panama Canal. You shortened what was 10 months down to 10 hours to go through the Panama Canal. And again, who'd have thought that was even possible? And I guess I'd like to pose the idea today that we're on the precipice of who'd have thought moments. Who'd have
Yeah.
thought all of these, from efficiencies and job creation to job deletion to just knowledge and capacity to move faster. And so I'll leave that there. As
Well,
you
I think
were,
it,
as you were,
yeah.
Brett, I just want
No,
to
no, no.
plant a
Well, I
seed.
think it
And
it
these took
takes us. It takes.
decades.
I know, man. Like, but it takes us to this focus question, right? Like, were the people, our ancestors, were they aware it was happening while it was happening, or did they have a hindsight 2020 experience and go, oh, that's what that was? You know what I mean? Like, were they consciously aware while it was happening that life was drastically being changed? The way of life was being changed when electricity was being created, when the assembly line was being created. Or is that just something we read about in textbooks, like, oh yeah, that's when that happened? But did the people living at that time, were they even cognitively awake about it?
Well, part of this conversation, Brett, has to evolve into, are you an innovator, or are you waiting for someone to spoon feed you reality? And the innovators don't think in terms of what can be done. They think of terms of what they will do, because they are creative and they're spirited and they're absolutely committed, die on the sword committed to the belief that something could be better and functionally useful. I mean, how many people sat around, to your point, and went, I don't ever want to give up my horse. I mean, Roger's my favorite. Like, I love Roger. He and I are bonded. We're one and the same. Meanwhile, Henry Ford's sitting around thinking about how he's going to create an cost-effective answer that's powered by a machine that you don't have to feed and water, that will one day, potentially break a leg. And
Yeah.
granted, they get broken, but you buy a part and fix it. Roger may not recover that well. So, yes, I think 99% of the world sits around waiting for someone to tell them what's next. And the question is, do you want to be part of, maybe it's 95.5, maybe it's 5% that are thinking like an innovator and adopting and adapting strategies that create huge wins?
100%. Well, I sit here and I think, okay, so we're in the fourth industrial revolution. I think we want to label it AI. It's a little bit bigger than AI. It's like cloud computing is a part of the fourth industrial revolution. I mean, Rick, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my database because it's saved to my computer until my computer craps out on me, and then I lose it anyway. But like, now I just show up, and whether I'm on my iPhone or my desktop or my my iPad, I got everything at my fingertips, and
Mm.
I don't have any fear that I'm going to lose it.
Well,
And that changed, right? But that changed probably 5, 10 years ago.
it did, but I have to laugh at cloud storage too at the same time. Like, if I almost wonder if there's physical wars that are still going on in the world, and there's bombs dropped in drones and all of this high tech, but at the end of the day, cyber attack might be more damaging and dangerous than anything that could happen in the physical manifested world. And we're not trying to cloud. This is Mojo Monday. We're trying to be optimistic, but just realize the power of computing and the power of, and I would recommend, I guess, whenever you find yourself with the question, where is this going and why? Behind the curtain, follow the money. There's always a monetary play or a power play. And, and part of what's cool about AI on some level, it separates us. It creates certain capacities, but on the bigger scheme or scale, I think it's an equalizer. We all have access to data. There's no longer the Pentagon. I bet the Pentagon computer in 1970, your laptop, your cell phone can run circles around what that sucker could do. And it was probably in a room the size of a football field. Just think about it. You have the power. The question is, how do you use it? And are we paying attention to how it's being used?
I just think it's crazy, right? Like I'm gonna play a song here in a second. But Rick, I literally was just looking it up on my phone while we were here. Like, how many Mojo Mondays have we created? Do you even know?
It's well over 150, right?
161 episodes. So we do this once a week. So we've done 161 weeks of Mojo Monday. And we started, what did we start with? We started with a Marvin Gaye song, I think. And then we moved
Ain't
into
no mountain high enough,
Ain't
maybe?
No Mountain High Enough. And then we moved into Thai Verdes. And then we've been playing this One Republic song. But if you're listening to Mojo Monday, you probably don't get to hear much of it because it's copyrighted music, right? So they don't let us put it on our videos on YouTube yet. So I've been telling Rick, you're a musician, write us a song, write us a Mojo Monday song that we can play, and then take me up to where before I hit play.
So, truth be told, most of it you can look behind me. I have a guitar. I can play guitar, and I'm reasonably capable. And I'm not necessarily. I try not to say I'm not. Like, just let that. If you take one thing away from today, stop saying I'm not or I can't. I think with all the tools and resources, you can be, have, and do anything. And if that's not how you're waking up, you need to keep listening to Mojo until your subconscious brain is rewritten to recognize the world in a paradigm shifted way that anything's possible, because it is. So Brett challenged me. I bet it's been 2 years. I wrote a song. I sang a song. I recorded the song. I like the song because I'm impressed that I did something. Like, I don't really sing in my band. I play guitar and let a singer sing. But I did not feel good about releasing it because it sounds like me, and I don't think that's not my gift. I have other gifts until now. And so I did two things. One, I re-recorded it through a program called Suno and asked it to find the perfect AI voice for me. It's amazing. Pretty solid song now with the help of AI. But even better, I decided to start from scratch because I still don't have that flary style like a Thai Verde. I love that song that he wrote, A-OK. And I said I want it to sound vibey, cool, funky, fun. And then I gave it about 15 words and 16, maybe 20 that I thought would be cool to infuse into this song. And I'm telling you, Brett, it took 60 seconds for it to create the song. And if you have a paid subscription, you own the commercial rights to that song. It just blew my mind. So take it away.
Out of sight. Let's go, it's Mojo. Life is best on Mojo Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I know. Set the tone and ride it all day. Mojo Monday. Fun and fired up. I'm on my way. Let's go, it's Mojo. Life is best on Mojo Monday. Big grin. Check in, how you doing? Little spark in your step, now it's moving. Every call, every smile, every you got.
I mean,
but here's the thing, I'm gonna let it play in the background, but I just want to talk over it for a sec. Like, the evolution of music is changing at our fingertips, and so is life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I knew this program existed months ago, and I resisted it as a musician and as an artist because I somehow thought it would contaminate my creative spirit, where conversely, it sparked my creative spirit. I'm using it as a tool. Instead of like letting this be the fire per se, it's now a spark. And so, again, it's all about perspective and application. And that's what we're challenging you today to think about. What's your perspective on it? And then what's the application? And if you're not clear, start asking better questions.
Yeah. So I think this is just one example, right? And we now have a theme song. But I Rick, I Googled and I think I've heard a couple of speakers talk about it. Like, hey, what are the top 10 jobs that are at risk of being eliminated or heavily disrupted by AI? And the list is like interpreters or customer service representatives, writers, telephone operators, receptionists, accountants, proofreaders, copy editors, telemarketers. I don't think anybody's shocked by this list. What I think is interesting that's not on this list is like computer programmers. I think the computer can program itself faster than a human can program it now. Yet, I don't see real estate agents on the list. And I don't want to go to real estate for a second, but I think about the stock market, Rick. Like I have a stockbroker that manages my stock accounts. And I ask myself the question, well, why couldn't AI manage my stock accounts? Or wouldn't AI be able to advise me of how to go make money in the stock market, right? And the truth is, it probably could use data to make references, but there's still a human element to it. There's an emotional value, or there's a speculation value. Because the contrary of that, Rick, is everybody would use AI and we'd all be rich, right? And I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
No, it's not. And is this is the part that gets a little weird, if you will, is that the challenge, I would say, even with I bet this AI program that I use to create the Mojo Monday song, and I consider co-creating. Like I had input, but ultimately it found a voice, it did the phrasing, it created the backdrop music based on my desire, my likes, and my interests. It's how humanizing can you make AI? Like, and it kind of almost fast forward to like robotics and having, someone in your house to go, make dinner for me. Like it's not if, it's when. That's happening. So you might as well get on board with it. And I won't say scary, but if you can, over time, AI and reality are going to merge and become almost indiscernible because computers will learn to exhibit emotional energy and it'll replicate what is human. And the question is, how realistic can that become?
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate question. And I don't think either of us sitting here have the answer. But what we want you to hear today is not to be afraid of it, to lean in and recognize where it's an asset and where it's a liability and where it's an advantage that overcomes a vulnerability for you in your life and your world. I mean, we only know what we know right now, but don't sit back and wait for the media to tell you how to engage. Stay curious or become curious and lean in and test it and just see what it can do for you. I think you'd be surprised. I didn't know about this program. I knew about it, but I didn't sign up until this week. And now this is my week's addiction because I'm uploading songs from my band 35 years ago that were very poorly recorded in my basement on cassette tape. And they're warbly and weird, and I'm uploading them. And this program is absolutely polishing them up like the most ultimate gemstone. They're still our song, but they're absolutely recreated on a modern platform. And it is magical. It's magical. So you have to decide what's magic and hocus pocus, but we want to challenge you to think. We want to
Yeah.
challenge you to engage. We want you to experiment. It's not if, it's when, and it's here.
Yeah. And I think when the country or the world, I should say, goes through industrial revolutions, there's fear. There's
Mm.
fear around it, right? And I would think there's fear in musicians right now around AI. I think there's fear in authors around AI. I think there's fear in real estate agents around AI. I think there's fear in every profession around AI because we don't know what it's going to look like on the other side of it. And the first question though is, are you even aware it's happening? Like, are you consciously aware we're going through an industrial revolution? And two, how do we not let our fears uh, prevail in this conversation? And how do we lean into a revolution so that we get revolved or evolved like our ancestors did with horses to cars, or carriages to trains, to sailboats going around the South America, to riding through the Panama Canal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's again, I don't know what you think. Our job is not to know what you think. Our job is to help you maybe recreate a perspective that allows you to think more effectively. And if we landed there today, that was our goal, and we're grateful for that.
Absolutely. And we're going to do a series here. We're going to do a series on AI. Our next couple of weeks are going to be AI focused, and we're going to dive deeper into specific thought patterns and tools, and how we're thinking about AI, and hopefully challenge your thinking around AI, because it's either you have one or two choices. You either lean in or you lean out.
Yeah. And if you're leaning out, you're
You
probably
can't
left.
sit neutral.
No, and leaning out means left out. And,
Yeah.
by the time the world's aware of it, the people that are moving forward already have 10 plays ahead of you and of us as well. And so anyway, at least find yourself again in the category of curious. And yeah, I'll leave it there because we've
All right.
got there's so much more we can talk about. We're going to
Yeah,
save
we're
it.
gonna save it for
Our
the
commitment, our commitment is to keep these around 20 minutes so that you can get in and out of them.
done. Well, tell me what I didn't know, or did I know, or did you?
So the first attempt at AI, or failed attempt at consumer AI as a product, was called the kitchen computer, advertised by Neiman Marcus in 1972. It was marketed as a home assistant designed to help with recipe storage and menu planning. Never sold a single unit.
1972.
Yeah. So it points to another reality. It's one thing to have a great idea, it's another to execute on that idea.
Yeah.
So
Well,
what
that's
ideas do you
Henry
have, and
Ford's
how do you
story, right?
execute? And how does AI help you create an efficiency and literally an accelerator? AI is the ultimate accelerator to recognizing opportunity and detriment in decision making. That's been my assessment so far.
I love it, Rick. And what day is it, sir?
It's Mojo Monday, my friend. Mojo Monday.
Let's go, it's
Go write a song today.
Life is best on Mojo Monday. Let's go. Yeah, I know. Set the tone and ride it all day. Mojo Monday. Fun and fired up. I'm on my way. Let's go. It's Mojo. Life is best on Mojo Monday. Every day. New chance to shine. Stacking up the little wins one at a time.
That song's available for sale on all of your major
Turn it up, making Monday all day. Let's go, it's Mojo. Life is best on Mojo Monday.
It's awesome.
Let's
Man.
go.
How can you have a bad day? I say start your day with this.
Mojo Monday. Fun, invigorating like the way. Let's go. Life is best on Mojo Monday.
Hold the note, Rick. Hold the note.
Don't have that note in
Best on Mojo Monday.
there. There it is, brother.
Later, friends.
Be good.